Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. I'm Kidest, and in this video we are going to talk about how to reduce stress during life's challenging moments. This is a continuation of what I covered in my short ebook, Unshakable You. And because we're, continuing to experience stress and challenges in our day-to-day experience and in the larger context that we're in right now, I thought this would be a very useful touch point to put together. So one of the first things that's really helpful to do is to prepare in advance a list of self-regulation strategies that work really well for you. So knowing what your unique response style is to stress, knowing how you typically deal with increased stress in your life, putting together a list of what your nervous system needs in a given moment, a list of strategies, techniques, tools that your nervous system can benefit from in a given moment will make it much more easier for you to be able to deal with stress later on when you are experiencing it. So whether we're talking about cognitive control techniques like meditation and breath regulation, techniques that help you come out of sort of the busyness of the mental chatter that arises when you're stressed, are items that you can put together on this list of options for yourself. Things like physical movement, so yoga, going for a walk, going for a run, going for a swim, whatever physical movement helps you self-regulate can go on your list of options. And you have strategies to sort of increase the amount of positive emotion that you're experiencing that you can add to the list. So practices like gratitude and savoring and, appreciation, things that you can give 3 to 5 minute conscious focus on that bring you out of that stress response state, that state of tension, that state of fear, flight, or freeze. And social connection strategies. So reaching out to people, reaching out to those in your community, those in your friendship circles, those in your family, people that give you a sense of ease when you connect to them, people that allow you to feel seen, heard, felt when you connect to them. So make a list so that you have this advanced menu of options when it comes to what you need to self-regulate in a given moment, what you need to be able to reduce the amount of stress in your experience in a given moment. First and foremost, in all of the things that you can try, is proper hydration. So water is super important in your day-to-day experience. It's all that much more important when you're experiencing increased stress. To give you an example, I drink about 4 or 5 of these a day. And that's, on a regular day when I'm not experiencing sort of the kind of stressors that are in our environment right now. So water is super important. And the reason for this, and I'm sure you've heard this lots of times about why it's important to drink water, why it's important to stay hydrated. But the last thing that you need is to deal with your body's response to dehydration. Your body's response to dehydration, to not having the water all of your cells need, is that it goes into a stress and distressed state when you're not drinking enough water. So that means the amount of cortisol in your system increases because your body's not getting the amount of water that it needs. It's, one of the sort of basic needs for survival is water and food. And those are things that you have to give your nervous system, especially when there are additional stresses in your environment. So hydration has to be top of the list so that you're taking away that unnecessary stressor from your experience. And what that will also do is drinking enough water throughout the course of your day, it will help your body cleanse and sort of detox from the increased stress hormones that are sort of released into your system in times of added stress and in times of life stresses, environmental stresses. The stress hormones, so the cortisol and adrenaline that you release in your body, are flushed out because you're giving your body the water that it needs. You're giving your kidney the water it needs to do sort of the waste process in your day-to-day experience. So water is top of the list. So make sure you're drinking, 10 or more cups of water a day on an easy day. If that's not already your habit, make it a must because it will dramatically improve your ability to self-regulate and sort of reduce the amount of stress in your experience. So there are, lots and lots of tools and strategies out there. What I recommend, what I highly suggest is that you put together what works for your unique response style, what your unique needs are to reducing stress. So like I said, the cognitive control strategies like meditation and conscious breathing, which, sort of reduce the mental chatter, take your awareness and attention out of the mind and into the body, into the present moment. So that's a great way to come out of the stress response. Then you have your physical movement strategy. So walking, running, swimming, whatever it is for you, add it to your list. You have your positive emotion elevating strategies like gratitude, appreciation, and savoring. Again, those regulate you out of stress and tension, which put you in sort of contracted states of fear and anxiety. You can't feel grateful and anxious at the same time. So giving your brain that positive focus is a really useful strategy to, again, reduce the amount of stress you're feeling. And then you have your social connection strategies, which are you connect with, the respectful, loving people in your life. We are social creatures. We're wired to bond and connect. So that's another thing that you can give to yourself if you have pets. Sort of work in time to just cuddle and be with your pets. They're amazing, naturally stress-reducing little beings. So there are lots of things that you can do. The important thing is to prepare that list for yourself and give yourself that choice in a given moment. When you look at your list, you can go, okay, what does my nervous system need right now? Does it need movement? Does it need stillness? Do I need to sort of power down, get off social media, get off the internet? What do I need? And whatever's appropriate and necessary for you in that moment, your body, your being, your nervous system will tell you. You'll feel kind of drawn to one of those items on your list. There are also lots of supplements that you can take. You might need to do a bit of research if you're not familiar with what supplements out there are really good to sort of move you out of stress states, but that's also an option. So like I said, there are lots and lots of tools and strategies out there to help you naturally regulate out of stress and anxiety and sort of the fight, flight, freeze responses. If you do the preparation in advance and create that sort of menu of option for yourself, and if you increase your amount of water intake, you will notice a dramatic improvement in how you are able to navigate through life in those challenging moments.